Never vote Democrat. All they do is whine. We're happy patriots. Pray we're seeking the divine. Exposing the deep state. Love will be our sign. With the best audience ever. Loyal through the grind. Shouting from the rooftops. Flag raised to the sky. My people will never kneel. We're side by side. From sea to shining sea, we're turning the tide. Dog in exile crew, going far and wide. Dog in exile, we'll make you smile. Dog in exile, on your dial. Dog in exile, can't shut me up. Dog in exile.
Yes, we're live. You made it, everybody. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We're doing some cool show today. I believe the news missed something really significant in this Letitia James Supreme Court story. It does affect Trump, but affects all of us in free speech. And I'll show you by the end of this episode why it was CNN that was the only article I could find that actually got the comments on the Supreme Court right. So whoever's writing for woke CNN, they got the online article right, and I believe it is key to really nailing what happened with that Letitia James Supreme Court, her trying to attack crisis pregnancy centers, which is it's massive in a way that I can't fully articulate it, but I'm going to try to tell you guys why the Supreme Court is securing our right to religion, to express our faith, our right to save the lives of the unborn. And this goes all the way back to the 1950s, civil rights era, where all the Democrats, they thought they ran on their racist civil rights stuff, and ended up backfiring on them huge. That is, by protecting the lower class blacks they were trying to protect in the civil rights era, they ended up protecting the pro-life Christians. How's that for a setup? Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm also going to show you guys pictures from last night's date night with the beloved Miss Chenapel and I, which I went out on your super chats. So thank you for buying us the most amazing steak dinner I've had all year. And I got to still run 5 miles today, guys. So pray for me. I got to do my long run. I'll get into that. I'll get into what I'm heading toward, but it's freezing out and I got to run sometime today. And then we have to go to some kind of a funeral memorial service tonight for a lady, some friends of ours at church. Their daughter died. We mourn with those who mourn. And so we want to go there, and I just want to pray the whole time for them at this memorial service. Okay? Welcome to the chat. I see you guys. Deport. Letitia is a yeast infection. Now, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Now, look at this. The clam beard. Did you get the lobster bites? How did you know? You guys are psychic. How did you know? Is all I want to know. I'm going to share a picture with you. Since you brought it up, those are tempura lobster bites. So Clambeard, I don't know who you are, but I believe you have some kind of psychic power to make that guess. This is tempura fried lobster, and you dip it in this little ginger butter sauce. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, I think I instantly got gout by taking one bite. I think I instantly got gout. Okay. Anyways, guys, you guys are great in that you did fund. Just by watching my videos, guys, you guys gave me the greatest job in the world. Let's get to the news real quick. I don't want to frabba-jabba too much. I've got like 3 major articles on this subject, but I'm going to start with the overview on it, on how the Supreme Court completely destroyed. It's Letitia James is just the face of evil. She's not evil. She's the face of evil. She carries evil's agenda in her body. She carries it in her politics. The Democrat Party carries anti-human, racist, evil, anti-freedom, anti-constitution, and these things are being fought at the Supreme Court. And I'm going to give you the entire fight. Anytime they use too big of words, I'm going to explain it to myself, and in doing so, it will explain it to you. So let's get to the first article. Look at this. And look, I got my little window down there. Now I feel too small. And then here, I feel you guys say I'm too big. So I made a slightly smaller one. Actually, I'm going to sit down here. Okay, I like being bigger. I'm Doug TenNapel, dang it. This is my show. I won't block video. How's that? And you guys are giving me comments. You're all giving me the comments on when the sound is bad live, that I need to turn the volume up on my shared videos and turn it down on me and blah, blah, blah. Trying to remember, guys, going as fast as I can. Just 3 videos today. The third one will be about Nancy Pelosi, which is going to give you an opportunity to do my partnership webinar this Wednesday on insider trading, which I've been insider trading now for quite a while. Just drafting off Nancy Pelosi's trades and doing pretty good. Here we go. Now, this is the Alliance Defending Freedom website. They're the ones who defended 11 crisis pregnancy centers. One of them was the one that Letitia James tried to destroy. I'm going to show you by the end of this episode, like I said, why this ends up going all the way back to civil rights, why it goes all the way back to our personal right, real right to privacy and religious freedom, which if you don't have religious freedom, you do not have America. I know there's atheists in my audience and many of them will agree. You don't want to tell Christians what to do, say, and think. Good. You're not acting like the very worst atheists in the world who are all Marxists. Thank you. But your worldview, if America becomes an atheocracy, the country is over because it cannot give a reason for why the immaterial law is true. Supernatural is immaterial. And atheism is materialist. Part of why it's false. Here we go. Alliance for Defending Freedom, New York. The U.S. appeals for the Second Circuit ruled Monday that 2 nonprofit pro-life agency centers in New York and a nonprofit network of affiliated centers, all represented by Alliance Defending Freedom, they did this article, attorneys, are free to tell women about the life-saving potential of using progesterone for abortion pill reversal while their lawsuit continues. There. That's a lot of chemicals, a lot of goo goo gaga in there, guys. Last year, New York Attorney General Letitia James sued 11 faith-based, life-affirming pregnancy centers in state court. I just want to put those words together for you, and so you can really see what I mean by Letitia James is carrying evil. Letitia James sued 11, that's a huge number, of faith-based. Why only the faith-based ones, Letitia? What evil would inspire you to only sue the 11 faith-based ones? And I guarantee you none of them are Muslim faith-based or Jewish faith-based. They're Christian faith-based. This is a war by a government official, Letitia James, on faith-based practice in America. Life-affirming. They're also life-affirming. This is a war on life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. You know, a lot of people on the right, we talk a lot about freedom. That is liberty, the second one. You can't have it without the first one. If you're not alive, you get no freedom. There's no greater form of losing your freedom than wiping you out in the womb before you even get a name, before you can get a choice, and you're innocent of any crime. So you're the definition of innocent human life. It's been proven in science knows it's a human life. It's alive. When it's dead, when the abortion is successful, it's gone. It's murder of an innocent human life. So these life-affirming clinics that help mothers, Letitia James is against life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and she's trying to enshrine it into law by creating lawsuits that set a precedent in our country. And that precedent was pushed back upon. Life-affirming pregnancy centers in state court in an effort to silence their speech. So this is where the free speech goes. She wasn't just trying to stop them from providing a service. They were trying to manipulate and dictate their speech. And that's always the rub, guys. People don't want you just to believe whatever you believe. They want to make sure that you can't talk about it. That's the ultimate thing. People have always been on two sides of the gay marriage. There have been people that are for marriage and against marriage. I'm allowed to say I'm against same-sex marriage. And there's always some gay couple going, how does my marriage affect you? I'm like, well, my speech actually doesn't affect you either. So let me speak against it. You speak for it. I speak against it. We both have free speech. Everyone's happy. No, you're not happy until I can't speak about it unless I lose my job, or in this case with these pro-life centers, unless they gave up their donor list so you can go and persecute them. About counteracting the effects of abortion drug mifepristone during supplemental progesterone, too much gobbledygook, and treatment commonly known as abortion pill reversal. So they were offering abortion pill reversal, and Letitia James didn't want them to say that it was available or that it's viable. I'm not even arguing on if abortion pill reversal is viable. I'm saying they should have a right to talk about it. There. Her enforcement action alleges, despite contrary evidence, that those centers are spreading, quote, false and misleading information. Now, that's what the Democrats always go to when they want to stop your free speech. They did it with the vaccine. You're spreading false and misleading information. Your YouTube channel will be taken down. Your job will be taken away from. The U.S. government will spy on you. The Biden U.S. government, FBI, will spy on you. If you say that masks are essentially ineffective, social distancing stopped no one from getting sick, and taking the vaccine, which initially they said would keep you from getting sick, and now we found out that was a lie. So they want to be able to say their lies, and they want to nail you, prevent you from speaking under the phrase of it's false and misleading. Remember Biden's last words on his last day of presidency is beware of the high-tech oligarchs spreading misinformation, false and misleading information. What did he mean? He meant censor Twitter, censor X. I might not get to it today, guys, but X is being targeted by the UK. UK and the globalists are going to try to stop free speech. That is, they're going to try to come into American businesses and stop Elon Musk's X from allowing us to speak by stopping it and fining it over in the UK. This is very similar to what California does. California will ban, let's say, certain blends of fuel. And so if you want to do business in America and sell your fuel in California, you have to blend your fuel to California's standards. Well, what if you want to sell it in Nevada? Nevada doesn't have the same standards. But by then you've already had to blend all your fuel to California standards. So it doesn't make fiscal sense to do special carve outs for one country because you're not doing the same product. It'd be like if you were selling cars around the United States and every single state made you paint it a different color and use different tires of different expenses. You couldn't buy those tires in bulk and save the money. That's what they're doing. I'm getting way too complicated. I'm sorry. The speech intimidation effort triggered the preemptive lawsuit that the two pregnancy centers filed here. So two of the crisis pregnancy centers funded by the Alliance Defending Freedom. Alliance Defending Freedom, they're a nonprofit lawyer firm that goes in and defends freedom so that the crisis pregnancy centers don't have to pay for them. They raise their monies through outside, rich, patriot donors, billionaires, funding to save America's free speech behind the scene. Now you guys know the background of all this stuff. Quote, many women regret their abortions and some, I don't need to get into the abortion issue on this. That's not what I'm here to do. I got to keep it moving. So if you'll indulge me, guys, I'm going to do a chapter ad read, which helps keep the lights on here. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Chapter. The link is in the description, and it will be the first pinned comment when this video posts. But they're amazing in that they support my career, and I appreciate them. I'm just going to give you a warning, number one, that the annual enrollment, tomorrow's the last day, guys. Those phones are going to be so clogged up. But you got to call Chapter and get them your number. This is for the reluctant people that don't know yet. And all the rules are going to change after tomorrow. You're going to see my ad reads are going to change after tomorrow because tomorrow's the end of annual enrollment. This lady says, I finally called Chapter on Black Friday and heard there's a 2-hour wait. First thought, 2 hours. This is from one of you, by the way. Second thought, my attention span's not that long and I may wander off. Final thought, it's not like I have anything else to do and I can put it on speakerphone. Happy face. Good strategy. See, the in exile, my patriots, you don't have to be strong. You can be weak. You can have a low attention span. We just know how to navigate ourselves. You put it on speakerphone. The call took about 45 minutes for two of us. Figure my savings is about $150 for the year. Not bad. Couple of meals out, just like the beloved Miss Tenaple and I had last night. Thank you for partnering with a company that isn't blasting my TV every 15 minutes. And it was painless. This is how you reward them being a good company, you call them. Guys, this is painless. Thanks, Doug. P.S. They did answer within 10 minutes. So she thought it'd be a 3-hour hold time, ended up being 10 minutes. Call 631-961-8696. My friends at Chapter, guys, this is your last day. Tomorrow's the big clog up. Call my friends at Chapter. I trust them to help you navigate Medicare. Call 631-961-8696. And this concludes my Chapter sponsor ad read. Let's get to my date night, shall we? Let me show you this picture. I'll get right back to the news. We're going to get right back to that Letitia James thing. You guys paid for this date. So look how lovely. You know what? The beloved Miss Tenaple was so happy. And that's really all I want with my whole life is just to make her happy and have fun. No, we're not raging alcoholics. I already know there's going to be some teetotalers out there going, how dare you drink alcohol? I've been off alcohol since September. That is, I'll give you guys a little trick. These are martinis. These are vodka martinis that the beloved Miss Tenaple and I are drinking before dinner. All dressed up to the T, had the best service and the best steaks. I realized that I was using a little too much alcohol every day. And it also goes into my smoking cigars. I was starting to do them every day and then eating carbs. That is pasta, macaroni and cheese, potatoes, potato chips, sun chips, chips and salsa covered in cheese, quesadilla, cheese quesadilla. all the carb tortilla. And I suddenly start swelling up. And it is a drug. Carbs are a drug. So for those of you that are yelling at me about alcohol and then you're eating chips, chips would put me in a better alcoholic drunken state than alcohol does now, because I've been off them since September. And so my trick is, though, once a month I give myself a cheat day where I'm allowed to drink, I'm allowed to have a cigar, and I'm allowed to eat carbs. And I mean biscuits and gravy, French fries every meal, Coca-Cola, anything I want is a key. So I go from using those vices every day to using them once a day. Once a month, 12 times a year. And it really works. So when I go out with Blevins to Naples, I have a martini. One martini with blue cheese stuffed olives. We always get either Grey Goose vodka or Kettle One. A little bit of vermouth, very little. Anyways, and I run 3 miles every other day. I told you guys that I have to put in a 5-mile run today. That keeps my metabolism up, even though I sit in this chair. My deep vein thrombosis that was firing down the back of my left leg from sitting in this chair for the last year is gone, because I run 3 miles every other day. And today I'm going to try to do my long run, because I don't want to announce it yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, but I might run a marathon next year before I turn 60. I'm 59. It's kind of the last marathon I would ever run, my bucket list. I'm still seeing how my training goes. But since September, in 3 months, I lost 30 pounds. And that's why some of you are saying, Doug, you're looking gaunt. It's my body fat is disappearing. I can see my stomach muscles for the first time in my life. My body fat is just zeroing out. And now I can eat anything, on that one day and nothing sticks. And I've never felt better. I'm not snoring anymore. My body's high energy. I have no risk of diabetes because you're zeroing out. You're not spiking your insulin 3 meals a day. And every time I eat a snack. Now, it is true. Every time I walk by a Dorito chip at the store, I look at it and I just slobber and covet that. And it's as if I'm being tempted by, every temptation I've ever had. But I just figured I was trying to get through the day, and you just go from vice to vice. And it's a coping mechanism. Instead of relying on God, I go, I can't pass up that turtle candy. I can't pass up the caramel and the pecans. And I just can't do it. I'm just not going to do it. I feel like caca. I was coughing all night from the smoke. And the alcohol at night would make me wake up feeling like I got hit by a truck. Even if I only took one drink at night, it just wasn't, I was 59 and I was feeling 69. So I just so it's like taking 10 years off my life. I feel great. So now you guys know my secret. Remember, fatties out there, my fat friends. First of all, I love my fat friends and I'm happy for you. If some guy, I got buddies that just eat fat, they're huge. They eat all day. They eat chips and mashed potatoes and French fries and fast food all day. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you can do that. I have friends that are just walking, drinking 3 drinks a day. Happy for you. Guys smoking 1 and 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I'm not here to condemn you at all. I'm glad you're glad. As long as you're willing to pay the price and go, hey, if I die of this, I'm cool. It's true. Every time you step into a car and drive down the street, you're rolling those dice to shed the mortal coil. So I'm not here to judge anyone else. I really believe in enjoying life to its fullest. And sometimes that means once, maybe twice a year, I eat those tempura lobster bites at Perry's Steakhouse. It was the best thing. It was like, dude, it was like soul candy. Okay, back to our, you guys are going to get sick if I keep talking. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, there's my 420. I got a bunch of potheads in my audience too. There's 420s. my pot people. Someone, I always rip on potheads too, because I have never even tried pot, but I've got friends who are in this audience who came and said, Doug, we love you. You know, we run a pot dispensary. And I was like going, oh, congratulations, I guess. Okay. So back to our article here. This is the Washington Stand says in 2023, New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin issued a subpoena to First Choice, that's that crisis pregnancy center in Jersey, which operates 5 pregnancy rescue source centers in the Garden State, demanding information on clients and donors. Platkin claimed to be investigating whether or not First Choice was engaging in deceptive business practices, but had not received a single complaint, which Clarence Thomas flushed out of him at the Supreme Court. Not a single complaint or allegation against First Choice Crisis Pregnancy Center. So he made up all the charges and then had the balls to go before the Supreme Court, and they smacked him down. The Attorney General subpoenaed a decade's worth of information, including all advertisements. So he tried nailing them on advertisements. He tried nailing them on client communications. That is a complete breach of privacy. Remember, Democrats never care, guys. This is your take home. Democrats don't care about right to privacy. That's what they claimed Roe v. Wade was a right to privacy. A woman had a right to the privacy of her own body. And just when a Democrat says a woman has a right to privacy, just laugh in their face. Take their face, smash it in the poo-poo. Ha, ha, ha. You don't care about right to privacy, because they were trying to pull all of the private communications between a crisis pregnancy clinic and their pregnant clients of people they communicated with. Democrats don't care about a right to privacy. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in the Constitution. It's not in the Constitution. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said so, which is why Roe v. Wade got overturned. There is no right to privacy. But if there is, you have a right to free speech. And what they were really trying to do is pull these client communications so they could expose them, oppress them, and they want to expose the donors to crisis pregnancy centers, for which I am one. I'll tell you publicly. Yes, I donate to crisis pregnancy centers that counsel women not to have an abortion. The money, in fact, you guys watching this show, that money goes to me in ad revenue, and I give money to crisis pregnancy centers. You and I have saved, I don't know how many, but I will say over 20 Black babies from being murdered in the womb. You watching this show and me giving a tithe to crisis pregnancy centers have saved Black babies. Why do I say Black babies? What about the white ones? I only use Black babies to underline to you guys that Democrats don't care about Black women. Never have, never will. They want to protect their murder. They want to take away a Black female baby before they get a name. They want them gone. It is a Klansman's wet dream. They're doing Goebbels and Hitler's wet dream to wipe out a race, to wipe out a person before they even breathe one breath. It's worse than slavery. They're worse than slavery. I'd rather be enslaved, chain me up, and I'll go pick cotton on a farm. Is not as bad as removing me from all of civilization in the womb before I take one breath. And that's the Democrat Party. That's Letitia James every day. Every day. Every damn day of the Democrat Party's life. We have to wipe that institution off the planet, guys, so it's not even spoken of in polite conversation. Richard Knight, 1841, with a $20 super chat. Like Moses, when it's my time to go, I will die in perfect health. Well, my dad was diabetic, and he would eat a bowl of ice cream all the time and just take his insulin and just kill his liver. He didn't care. Died at 84 or 83, said, I have no regrets. He goes, I'd rather die than not eat ice cream. That was his form of slavery. Anyways, they wanted personnel records, documents on abortion pill reversal, the names, addresses, phone numbers, and place of employment for over 5,000 donors. And now I'm gonna wrap it up with this final article, because I told you guys I would tell you how CNN's the only one that got it right on the principle behind these decisions at the courts. What's the principle? I pulled this one paragraph from CNN. They nailed it. Weighing on the case is a 2021 Supreme Court decision in which a majority invalidated a California, so a lower state, rule requiring charitable organizations to disclose the names of contributors. This is a 2021 case brought by leftist California socialists that were trying to flush out pro-life donors, traditional family, anti-gay marriage donors, anti-environmentalist donors. They wanted their names and addresses because the Democrat Party knows what they do with that. They put it out to the public, and then the public backlashes, threatens, boycotts, sues the donors. Okay? It's no different than us going after George Soros. We want to know what George Soros paid for in the Democrat Party. And we'll find out how much of that is legal or not, how much of that has to be disclosed on our state laws. But California lost big. Remember, it was Barack Obama that did all of that spying and persecution based on donor lists of Tea Partiers, pro-lifers. They went after them. I'm thinking of Prop 8 that was against gay marriage in the late 2000s that went under, and they went and found the donor lists and tried persecuting Chick-fil-A back before they went woke and pro-gay. Cracker Barrel, you know, they try and find out who did you donate to. And that's why Cracker Barrel donated to so many LGBTQ causes, because they wanted the political coverage. They're like, look, this is how we do business and how we're safe. We're pro-trans now. Can we serve people biscuits and gravy now? Both the appeal, by the way, and so Chick-fil-A is compromised. I know this is bad news to all of you that keep calling it Jesus Chicken. It's not. It's woke. They're actually more woke than Cracker Barrel. Bad news. News alert, guys. You just learned something from Doug in Exile. It's not Jesus Chicken, by the way. What you need is Jesus Burger, and that's In-N-Out. In-N-Out Burger is still a will not bend the knee, absolute Christian company. And we got one coming right down the street here in Franklin, Tennessee. They're bailing on they're going to Tennessee to expand their business because California is going to shut them down because they put scriptures on the bottom. In-N-Out Burger does on the bottom of their Coke and the bottom of their fries. Both that appeal and the current case from First Choice, the Crisis Pregnancy Center, lean, this is where CNN got it right, on a landmark civil rights era decision from 1958. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the first. If your other channels didn't tell you that, they're lying. They just, guys, I don't know why people don't want to talk about this stuff. By the way, I've told you guys how bugged I am about Ilhan Omar videos, and I did one yesterday. I go, I'm going to do one as a test. I did 4 videos yesterday. One of them was an Ilhan Omar video. Guess which one performed the best? Ilhan Omar got almost double all of my other videos. So I do report on Ilhan Omar to get clicks, to expand my audience. But this stuff, when I give you the real truth that's affecting patriots and America, it will not perform. The algorithm doesn't pick it up. By the way, my buddy, my YouTube expert buddy, who's a Christian, said he believes it could be a conspiracy over at YouTube where their woke employees are benefiting really dumb channels about Ilhan Omar to make Republicans look racist. That's his theory. Because it just doesn't make sense why Ilhan Omar would be sucking all the air out of the room on everyone's videos when there's real stuff happening that's affecting America. So what's the big deal about that civil rights era decision from 1958 where the racist Democrats tried to find out in which the court struck down an Alabama, in which the court struck down an Alabama subpoena requiring the NAACP to disclose its membership list. Yes, the racist Klansman Democrats in 1958 in Alabama wanted the NAACP, a pro-African American charity, to disclose its membership list. And you know what? Nothing changes. Maybe the skin color of the Democrat changes, and then it goes from a white racist in 1958 to Letitia James, a black racist in 2021. To find out who is on that donor list to that crisis pregnancy center as we try to save black babies from Letitia James, both black and white Democrats that are trying to kill them. We're trying to save them. And it's really just so that black baby can have the same opportunity I did in this great country, which is simply to live. Too much to ask from the Democrat Party, guys. These guys are murderous. They're psycho. We're not going to ever we never defeat them with violence. Violence, by the way, never defeats anything. You have to defeat them with votes, convincing them, with repentance. That is the way of Christ, and that is the way that permanently changes the soul of man. But this constitutional case goes back to 1958, and this one, the Democrats have been running on saying Republicans are white racists, and that's why, therefore this redistricting, And really, our Supreme Court went back to the anti-racist decision in 1958 to protect donors, to keep Democrats and from oppressing our donations. We won. Letitia James lost. Now we can't get those donors. They're hidden for a little while longer. We have to send out AI, guys. I want that list of names. Who donated to the Crisis Pregnancy Center? And they'll find my name all over them, guys. Woo! Right here. Come get me, sucker. I'm not even protected. I might not even be. I'm protected by the Supreme Court this week, but next week, if Democrats pack the Supreme Court by winning in 2026, they'll expose my name, come after my channel. They can do anything they want. And in the end, I'm protected by God more than the Constitution. Our hope is in God. I hope the Constitution gets it right and continues to try to emulate God, but you know how that can go south pretty quick. Kenny, jury rig, $1912, $100 super chats. Scary times. More than ever, we need God. Number one, truth. Speak it. Family, truth. Number two. By the way, some of you have broken families. Go repent. Go repair those bridges. You need your family and friends. Some of you have broken company with friends too. We need our friends. Correct and in the correct order. And after that comes country, comes civilization. After God, family, friends, country, then vocation. Proud of our happy patriots. Yeah, jury rigged. We have an incredible community here of incredible patriots. I've got the best audience. We're going to do it. I've got enough people. It's probably about 50,000 people that will watch my videos, whether if I make 2 or 4 a day. So if I make 2 a day, I get, maybe it's more like 100,000 people. If I make 2 videos a day, I get 200,000 views a day. If I make 4 videos a day, the same people will watch 4 videos, and that becomes 400,000 views a day, and I get paid more. And so sometimes I do 2 videos a day, sometimes I do 4. But you guys watch, and I want to tell you something. The reason why I want to hold onto that 100,000 person audience is because 100,000 people is not only enough for me to live on easily. Believe me, guys, I've never had an easier time living than having you guys as an audience, including Kenny, who keeps giving me $100 super chats because he's obscenely wealthy. And I'm going to be taking the Above Mr. Table out to dinner again this week. So thank you, brother. Kenny's like my marriage counselor. 100,000 people is enough to sway any election. 100,000 people is nearly enough. Just one channel. If we get the tactic right and we point our funding to certain candidates and certain races in swing states, and we'll see them develop, and you'll get the message out to tell your friends in this swing state, in this county, here's where you register, here's where you call your Republican representative to get your mail-in ballot or whatever. This audience alone has enough to maximally influence the entire United States and the country's entire history. I'm not kidding. I wish I had a bigger audience. Sometimes I have to do a bigger audience by doing an Ilhan Omar video. You'll forgive me for that. I always put the best news, the most truth in my stuff. But now you guys understand why I pick certain titles and thumbnails. And sometimes I do these more educational videos about the Constitution, how the Supreme Court works, and why it affects all of our free speech, our religious practice, why it's important, why Letitia James isn't just evil for trying to imprison Trump. She is performing mass evil against future human beings that will not exist if she succeeds. And that's part of my battle. That's why people go, hey, why are you making fun of her saying she looks like a yeast infection? I'll call her names all day. She is a walking, looking like a yeast infection. She looks like a piece of bacteria. Okay. It's not that that's how you win an argument. It's how you strengthen the troops and have a lot of fun with mocking your enemies. And what she does to human beings is far worse than any name I could ever call her. And always, 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 guys, prayers. We have to pray before a humble God and realize that he has more to do with our success or failure in the future than we do. So we appeal to him because I believe supernature, we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities. I'm not going out on some big demon hunt, guys. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to pray the demon away. I'm not doing that either. I am falling before God and saying, I'm a sinner and I need your help. Save my society, save my children, save the Constitution, save the president, save the unborn, save me, keep me repentant, low, small, and weak, because when I'm weak, you're strong. And that's good. We're going to wrap that up, guys. Give us a thumbs up. I got about 1,700 viewers. I need about 1,700 thumbs up. Be sure to click the thumbs up button. That's how you spread this video out to everyone watching all the way here to the end. You guys are my most loyal audience members. You help the most. And leaving a comment, you help even more. Spread the link, you help even more. I'm Doug, in exile. You know what? Let's close on the song. How about I close on the song too? Some of you guys don't like the hard rock. You know what the hard rock is? It means Uncle Doug is angry. That's what hard rock is for. We're going to close on the video, and I'll see you guys later. Love you all. New videos coming up today, all right? New videos coming.
Never vote Democrat. All they do is whine. We're happy patriots. Pray we're seeking the divine. Exposing the deep state. Love will be our sign. With the best audience ever. Loyal through the grind. Shouting from the rooftops. Flag raised to the sky. My people will never kneel. We're side by side. From sea to shining sea. We're turning the tide. Dog in exile crew. Going far and wide. Dog in exile. We'll make you smile.